finally, I found someone who owns a Tesla and is in Kuwait and is willing to come on camera and talk about it. Everybody meet Khalid. I'm gonna get down to it. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, so before we get into this awesome interview, this awesome, I guess we say a little bit of a podcast, is we need to introduce who Khalid is. And looking into what he does and his experience in Tesla, I think I hit a jackpot. But anyways, I'm gonna let him speak for himself. And Khalid, man, take it away.
So for the past 14 years now, I've been in the automotive business, mainly modifying cars, especially German cars. So 14 years of experience in creating 800, 1000 horsepower German cars. I have personal experience with Tesla. I owned this one for 2 years now, a little bit more than 2 years. And I've been investing in Tesla since 2016. Been following the company since 2014.
Wow.
I'm not your average follower of Tesla. I am kind of a tech geek.
So you're into all the specs and technology and...
I'm into how many kilowatts, what's the amperage, what's the current, what voltage are we running, what's the structure, what kind of battery management system are we running, how efficient it is, are we doing it the optimal way, can we reduce the wiring, what's the weight of the wiring, that kind of technical details.
Yeah.
So I'm in it, the product and the manufacturing process of that product.
This is gonna get very interesting.
Hopefully.
So Khalid, tell me, how did you first get into Tesla? You know, in Kuwait, every time where I go and, you know, go places, I don't see Teslas. And every time when I talk to people who have Teslas, they say that it's hard for them to get it here in Kuwait. So you having a Model 3 in Kuwait, and how long have you had the Model 3, by the way, for?
Since March 2021.
March 2021, so 2 years. How did you get into Tesla? How did you hear about it? How did you said, I need to get the car? Tell us the story.
Okay, so my first introduction to Tesla was seeing it in London. I saw the first Roadster driving in London. I was like, because I'm a car guy, and I was like, that's a Lotus, but it doesn't look like a Lotus. It has something different to it. So I was like looking around, and then I realized, okay, this is probably some of those deals where two cars or two companies do projects on a single car, like the GT86 Toyota and the Subaru BRZ,
Right.
or any of these collaborations. And being a car guy, I dug into it, and it was a wormhole. I was like, what is going on here? But I kept an eye on the company. I kept a close eye on the company and what it's doing, until they decided to go from the niche to consumer level. Albeit it's high-end consumers to begin with. So they introduced the Model S in 2000. They announced the Model S in 2013, I remember, if I remember correctly. But in 2014 it came out, I think, or somewhere around that time. 2013, 2014. I was like, and then they came out with the Model X, and I was like, okay, we need to investigate this further. Yeah. And I started investing in the company in 2016.
Those are the glory days.
Yeah. I would say the glory days are around 2010.
Yeah.
But yeah,
still,
yeah.
2016.
I mean, post-COVID, yeah, 2016 were the glory days. Yes. So yeah, 2020 happened. We all know what happened in 2020. So I took slight portion of that portfolio, and I got the car.
And then you got the car.
After like 20x.
After 20x, yeah. Let your investments make your money. I mean, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. So how like here in Kuwait, because there's no Tesla dealerships here, how did you import it? Like I know UAE in Dubai, they have a few showrooms there.
Yes.
How did you bring it here in Kuwait?
The initial process is the same. You go to the website, you order the car, and it goes to Dubai. The delivery process is slightly different because you cannot register a car in Dubai or in the UAE if you don't have an Emirati ID, which means either you're Emirati or you're a resident there. And I'm not either.
Yeah.
So what you do is you pay someone to get delivery for you, register it in their name, and the next morning they export it under your name to Kuwait. So when you receive the car in Kuwait, it would have the export papers with it, with your name on it, so you can register it in Kuwait.
Oh wow, wow!
So that's the extra step you have to go through because you can't register it yourself.
And that person you're trying to have that vehicle that registered under that vehicle, you must probably know that guy to make sure he doesn't run off with the car.
At first, I thought this was the case, but this guy has brought 50 plus Teslas to us in Kuwait.
Okay.
So if he would have run with one of them, he would have done it a long time ago.
That's true. That's true. So do you think Tesla will actually come to Kuwait one day? Because I know here in Kuwait, how they do business is different when it comes to car companies. Like we have, for example, for Mercedes, the sponsor here is Al Mulla.
Yes.
And
it's a dealership model.
It's a dealership, yeah. Do you think, because last time I heard about what Tesla, about doing these third parties, is that they're not really interested in that. They would like to be there themselves.
Tesla doesn't do dealership model.
Yes.
They're vertically integrated. However, that changed in Kuwait. What you just said is outdated. Not many people know that. There is a way to come as Tesla and open in Kuwait. As of, I think, 2021, that law changed. It didn't change.
But it got more friendly.
No. There's a new establishment, governmental establishment, that now allows direct investment. And Tesla can come under the direct investment part of that.
I didn't know
establishment. And they just signed with Google. I don't know if you saw the news about Google opening a cloud center in Kuwait.
No, I didn't. No, that's the first time hearing it.
So that's coming under the direct investment because they want to improve the infrastructure. So they need servers in Kuwait. Wow. That would help the banking sector a lot because we don't want to push our private information overseas.
Overseas, yeah.
So if we have the cloud in Kuwait, we can make sure that the infrastructure and the firewalls and the security is on it is tight.
Wow.
So Google signed, and I'm not sure, but I've heard news that the government had three. This is allegedly, it's out in the news. The government in 2020 was preparing three proposals. One for Google, one for Boeing, and one for Tesla.
Seriously?
Yes. Now, Google came to fruition. I have no idea about the other two. I don't know about Tesla or Boeing. But that was a single piece of news that included the three of them, and Google came through. So it might put some weight on, I don't know, Tesla might be coming. I don't know what's going behind closed doors.
I mean, if we look at every country, they're all like begging Elon Musk to make a Gigafactory in their country. Now, that's just the Gigafactory. To have Tesla vehicles available in your country, I mean, Kuwait has to do it sooner or later.
I don't, as a consumer, I don't care about where the Gigafactory is. I want a service center. That's it. Tesla doesn't even have to come here because I like the issues I faced with the car are minimal, closer to zero. It's like, I don't know, first world issues. Yeah, like you can live without it. It's fine.
Okay.
But if that happens, I don't want to ship it to Dubai.
That's the big obstacle. That's one of my concerns, right? If I get a Tesla here in Kuwait and something goes wrong with it, it's the hassle of exporting back to UAE, waiting for weeks, and then bring it back.
Knowing that we're closing on 100 Tesla owners in the Tesla Owners Club of Kuwait, leave aside the Tesla owners that are not members of the club. So we have a few hundred Teslas in Kuwait. We're facing nothing, basically. No issues.
Wow.
It's fine. You want to change a cabin air filter, you can do it here. It's fine. Stuff that you can
They can do every day.
Yeah, and other stuff that can be fixed over the air software. So you update the car and it's fine. My concern is getting into an accident and having to ship it there. But even though, I mean, if we had Tesla in Kuwait, yes, the car would go to the dealership in Kuwait. Or in the case of Dubai, the car would go to Dubai. Either way, you don't have the car. So I don't think you care if it's in Dubai or in Kuwait.
Sure.
But the logistics of it and the small extra cost of shipping it there by road.
That's a big, and for a lot of consumers, that's a big cinder block in the way. They don't want to go through the hassle of all that.
I think if we just get an authorized body shop in Kuwait, that would be just fine.
That's it.
Just an authorized body shop.
And I don't see any superchargers here. That's a big one.
Well, let me explain. I would care about superchargers in Saudi Arabia, I think, more than the Saudis do.
Because that's a big country.
No, because I'm locked in Kuwait right now. Not really, because we did do a trip to Bahrain.
Okay.
In a Tesla.
Okay.
On a single charge, because Saudi Arabia doesn't have any charging. Not any, but none in enough distance that you can reach. So it's always out of range. But we went from Kuwait to Bahrain on a single charge. But let me put this as a disclaimer. We were doing 100 kilometers per hour with AC off because it was in the winter.
Okay.
We didn't have any heating on or AC. The weather was outside. It's like 20s, mid 20s. It was fine. So we left. The car left from the chalet, which is closer to the borders. So it did around maybe 50 kilometers inside Kuwait, and it entered Saudi Arabia. And then it did around 200 to 250 kilometers inside Saudi Arabia to reach Bahrain. It reached Bahrain with 17% in it. It left with 100%. That was a long-range Model Y, not even a Model 3. Okay. So it's heavier than a Model 3. I'm pretty sure you can do better with a Model 3. So we're not really locked in Kuwait because of the lack of charging in Saudi Arabia. But I would care to have superchargers in Saudi Arabia. Reason is, you don't need a supercharger in Kuwait if you have home charging.
But the problem is, majority of people who live in Kuwait, they live in apartments. Like myself, I live in an apartment.
I do.
You live in, so how do you charge your, wait, so how does it work then?
I do have a charger while living in an apartment.
But they have the outlet? Because in my place, they don't have an outlet.
So when I came to rent, the house owner, he's a very respectable gentleman.
Wow.
And I went to check out the apartment in the Tesla. So he saw the Tesla, and he's a tech fanatic.
Okay.
I know he's a tech fanatic because he has Ring doorbells with cameras on.
Oh, there we go.
So yeah, he's tech inclined. So I was like, okay, we like the apartment, we're gonna take it, but I have one concern. I have an EV, so I need to charge it. And his question was, do you need single phase or three phase?
Oh, there we go. So he knows already.
So he knows. So I was like, I wanted a three phase, but out of respect, I mean, he said he wouldn't charge me for the charging. Like, he's not putting extra on my rent payment for charging. So I'm getting the charge for free. So I was like, a single phase would do. He was like, okay, I have the fuse boxes in this place and the breaker boxes in that place. Install your charger. So I went and installed a single phase 32 amp level 2 charger in my house. It's actually I'm using the NEMA adapter on the mobile charger that Tesla provided with it.
Oh, wow.
That gives me 7 kilowatts.
Yeah, that's very convenient. That's very convenient. And for those who are watching, Kuwait doesn't have any superchargers, but they do have a company that's not as fast as Supercharger, but they're called Charge Kuwait. I talked about it on my channel a few times. And they're everywhere. Well, they're increasing slowly here in Kuwait, but they're not as fast as Tesla Superchargers. So to know that you can actually do it in your apartment, that's a big plus.
By the way, I'm not sure if we reached 100 chargers in Kuwait, but we might be close to it.
And this is a Tesla Supercharger only.
So they are not Tesla Superchargers. Some of them are. So National Bank of Kuwait has 8 chargers in their parking lot, in the headquarters.
And that's in the downtown Shab area.
That's in Sharq. Yeah, in front of the Al Hamra Tower.
Is that public or just private for them?
Well, you can go in. It's a parking lot.
Oh, okay.
It's a paid parking lot. So so you can pay.
And that's Tesla Superchargers.
Yes.
Wow.
Because NBK.
I've seen it on their website. Yes, I've seen it on Tesla Supercharger website that in Kuwait they have it at NBK. Main NBK.
NBK got 9 Model 3s and distributed them.
There we go.
They had a raffle on 9. Like, if you buy with your credit card, you get into a draw on a Model 3. They had 9 of them.
Okay.
And they have 8 chargers that are public. You can go and charge there. Avenues Mall has 3 or 4 stations in the parking, scattered around. Each station has, I think, 4 charging stalls.
Wow.
Those are all 3-phase supercharger, not supercharger, sorry. Those are 3-phase chargers. They give you 11 kilowatts. So it's the maximum you can get on AC. Like, even if you have a 22 kilowatt charger, this car wouldn't take more than 11. It's capped at 11. Unless you go DC, from AC to DC.
Okay.
DC is what we don't have in Kuwait.
That's the thing.
But if you have those chargers around in shopping malls and in public parkings, and some hospitals do have chargers in their parkings, and you have charging at your house, many supermarkets have chargers in Kuwait.
Okay.
So when you're going grocery shopping, you can charge at 11 kilowatts.
That's amazing.
Kuwait is small. You don't need a supercharger.
But do you think Tesla will eventually come?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I hope so, man.
I hope so too. Oh God! Anyone that's working in Tesla, that's watching this video, please get some superchargers here. Do something about Kuwait because there's a market here for it. And the thing is, Teslas, it's the best of the best. And what I know about Kuwaitis is they love the best of the best.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
So if someone is listening, let me change that a bit.
Okay, there we go.
If you have one thing to do as Tesla, forget about the superchargers, please. We don't really need them. Put them in Saudi Arabia, please. You can do that so we can travel around GCC. Because Kuwait is separated from the GCC by Saudi Arabia, so we need Saudi Arabia to have chargers. But if you were going to do one thing in Kuwait, we need an approved service center or a body shop.
Yes, this is a must.
Just in case of, like, a fender bender, we can fix it in Kuwait. It's fine. It's body shop. But if I break an axle or if I break a suspension, if I get into an accident where I have to change the front motor, we need something here.
Yeah. Yep, this is a must. This is one of my biggest obstacles to hitting that order button for a Tesla here in Kuwait. I don't know if I get into a car accident or something happens like you mentioned. I don't want to ship it to Dubai because first off, if I ship it back to Dubai, I won't have a vehicle to go places.
Well, that's the same case if you don't have.
Usually they give you loaner cars.
Well, here's the thing. My insurance company would fix my car in Dubai.
Okay.
For me. But I have to pay for the shipping going and back.
And
that insurance policy has a loaner car. So that's not the issue. The issue is shipping it back and forth.
Yes. It's a hassle.
Across borders.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's not cross country inside the country. Like I'm not shipping it from state to state.
Yes.
I'm shipping it through 3 countries: Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and UAE.
Yep.
And if anything happens, it's an international thing. It's an international logistics.
If something does happen, try to fix that.
Yeah.
Try to go after that.
It's possible. It's a minor issue. As I said, if you get into a fender bender, you take it to any body shop in Kuwait and they'll fix it. It's fine.
But if it's a battery or if it's like something with suspension.
Yeah, if it's something serious and you're in the $10,000 mark plus.
Yeah, that's a big obstacle.
I wouldn't think you would care that much about the cost of shipping it back and forth because you're paying 10,000 plus. You wouldn't care about $600, $700, $800 extra. Like that 10,000 could be 11,000. It's fine. You're already in 10,000.
Exactly.
So 10% is fine. It's just the hassle of it because I have to arrange for that shipment myself.
Yeah.
And I have to arrange with Tesla to receive the car without me being present there. And if I have to go check something on the car, I have to book an airplane
and go all the way there.
And a hotel.
Forget it.
You have to travel for a weekend.
That's the thing. That's the thing. And when it comes to, I guess, having other vehicles, that's not very convenient. So, as Khalid mentioned, if you can have a service center here, that's it. That's it. That's all. The importing stuff, I mean, that's only one time then. You don't have
to. The demand
send
is
it back.
so high.
It's extremely high.
But
what was your reaction for Q2 when it came? For deliveries? Because in this channel, everyone's just like 440, 450,000, and then 466. Sheesh!
When I saw 466, I was like, eh.
Well, you've been an investor since 2016, so...
let me say one thing.
Yeah.
Look at the past, I don't know, 4 quarters, 8 quarters. Take whatever amount of quarters in the past. And look at the fact that they are beating expectations every quarter.
Pretty much, yeah.
So what were the expectations? I think it was around 420 to 440.
This one, it was 448 to 450.
So if they get 460 something,
yeah,
I would expect that because they have exceeded expectations on every single quarter for the past, I don't know, 2 years.
Yeah, and it's going to continue.
So when they exceed expectations on this one, I'm like,
yeah, sure. As long as they exceed, I'm okay with
We're
it.
On track. We're on track. We're fine. We're fine. We're on track.
So we'll get to the stock price and stuff in a bit, but I have more questions about, driving it here in Kuwait. Now, Kuwait, the roads here are very interesting.
Okay.
The roads here are very interesting.
We don't want to get political on that.
Yeah, we don't want to get political, but the roads here are very interesting. How convenient is it driving, for example, the Model 3? By the way, is this a long range?
This is a performance.
There we go. Never mind. So a performance.
20-inch wheels, low profile tires.
There we go. How convenient is it driving a Tesla Model 3 Performance in Kuwait? With all the roads and with all the things on the roads.
It's a very smooth ride.
Very smooth ride.
It's a very smooth ride. It's very reactive because of the big wheels and low profile tires. The air pressure on my tires is 42 psi cold.
Wow.
The heat in Kuwait goes up to, I don't know, 50 in the shade, 58 sometimes.
That's about 125 to 130 Fahrenheit. For
140 something.
Yeah.
145 if I'm not mistaken.
Jesus.
And that's in the shade. I personally went outside my garage because we have a garage
Yeah.
here, like a shop, not my house garage.
Yeah. Which link in the bio, by the way.
So I had an infrared thermometer, and I put it on the tarmac, on the street. 2 p.m. It was late July, and it read 76, if I'm not mistaken. That was in 2018, maybe. 76 in the sun on the street. You can literally find videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Cooking eggs on the street without fire. So they put a pan on the street and crack eggs, and it would cook. However, the AC is good. I have mobile connectivity, so I can run the AC over the internet anytime before I go to my car. So I usually do it 10 minutes earlier.
Okay.
And that takes the temperature. One time I literally parked it in the sun because I intended for it to have like a 10-minute thing. I'm going and coming back in 10 minutes. I ended up spending more than an hour. So what I did is I flipped my phone, went into the Tesla app, and the interior temperature was, I believe it was 68 or something like that. It's close to 70. Exterior temperature was 58, but in direct sun, it was interior of 68 or 69. I remember it was 69 because I took a screenshot of it. 10 minutes later or 12 minutes later with the AC on, it was 11 interior temperature. So it was really cold.
Wow. That's really good.
I had to, when I got into the car, I had to turn off the AC for a couple of minutes until it warmed up a bit. And then I started the AC again because it was too cold.
Okay, so here's the thing with a lot of FUD out there when it comes to Tesla. A lot, or electric vehicles, but mainly Tesla, because it gets the most headlines.
yeah, it does.
They say that Teslas, they don't work in extreme cold, nor do they work in extreme hot. And that is so wrong at so many levels. For example, how you just said, outside 76 degrees on the pavement, coming inside 68, no issues. In extreme heat.
It's an outdoor oven.
It's an outdoor oven, but yet, well, I guess I gotta ask this. Do you have any issues with the battery in the extreme heat?
Well, I'm using the AC 10-12 minutes before I get into each trip. So that's using like 10% in a day.
Okay, that's not that bad.
It's not that bad, it's fine.
It's fine.
I can still do 400 kilometers, 350.
That's still good. That's still a lot of kilometers.
And then tomorrow morning, I'll unplug it from the wall and I'll have 350, 400 kilometers again.
Exactly.
In the heat.
Those who say that it takes 60, 70, 80% of the...
No.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't, no. Yeah.
I mean, even regular cars, ICE cars, when you use AC, it takes more gas. It takes more. So it's a normal thing.
They just have the ability to just pump it in a minute at the gas station. However, this is way more efficient. So don't think that it's consuming as much gas. It's
there we go.
Like each trip is extra. Let's see if I would have the information here. This is since I left home. We used 17.1%.
Yeah.
And the climate control used 5.2 out of that 17. We were running AC here, filming for the past hour something. Maybe 75 minutes. Yeah. And this is the climate consumption, 5%. Including that hour and quarter or hour and a half of
driving and
full blast AC and filming.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's fun.
It's insane. A lot of Tesla bears and FUD is coming out that Tesla or electric vehicles during the heat or in the cold, it doesn't work. Well, no, that's not. I don't know where they're getting this information from.
Let me give you one more perspective. I'm a car guy.
There we go.
And I have several cars.
Okay.
So, I have a V8. I do have a V8. I wouldn't say which car V8
Okay.
it is. It's a sports V8.
Okay.
Manual, 6-speed manual
Nice,
V8.
nice.
And I have a turbocharged APR Stage 3 ODT TRS that is pushing 600 horsepower to the wheels. It's a manual, 6-speed manual. Now, in this heat, would I feel like driving those cars? The Audi? No way. It would take it. It would take it, but I'm not driving a big turbo, 600 horsepower, manual transmission, 32 psi's of boost at 50 degrees outside.
Now that thing could catch on fire.
Not if it's APR, no. So APR doesn't. The safety on that car is good. The engineering is on that car is very good. But turbocharged, 32 psi's on full boost, you're driving at 50 something in the shade. That's crazy.
Yeah,
this is a way better car for the summer. I start this car every morning and I put it in drive and I go to work. I don't warm it up. There is no idle, there's no warm up. I don't care if it has gas or not. So I'm never caught in a position where I need to go somewhere, but I don't have enough gas, so I need to pass by the gas station and get late because I'm already late. That never happens because I always have charge in the morning. So I think this is a better daily driver. And that's why I have the other cars. They are weekend cars. But the day I need something quick, responsive, and reliable, this is where I go. I just pick up my phone, no keys. I don't look for the keys. I just pick up my phone and leave.
Go, that's it.
That's
it. And that's the thing. If Tesla comes to Kuwait or makes it easier to buy here in Kuwait, that's it. It's going to be like everywhere else in the world. People are going to prefer
It's not a big market.
It's not a big market, but
it's a rich market.
It's a rich market. That's right. It's a really rich market. Like my neighbors, each family has like 4 to 5 cars. One for each one of them.
Of course, because like this is the only mode of transportation you have in Kuwait.
That's it.
If it's an outdoor oven, you can't go walking around or on a scooter or no. You have to have a car or you're immobile.
Exactly.
If you don't have a car in Kuwait, you're immobile.
That's
and
so
if
true.
you want to rely on taxis, that you might as well buy a car. Because the payments you're paying for the transportation on taxis, you can buy a used car.
Exactly.
So you have to have a car. But since everyone has a car, there's a segment of society that can afford Teslas. And Teslas are not...
no, they're not expensive.
They're not expensive.
No, they're not expensive at all. Like, how much is it here if you want to order from UAE, the Model 3, let's say?
The standard range is like 14,000 KD, I think, or something like that. Tesla changes the pricing a lot.
All the time, especially
but I think it's somewhere around 14,000 KD.
And once the compact car comes...
yeah.
That's it. By the way, guys, Khalid has a Cybertruck on order. So... it's going to be very interesting to see what a Cybertruck is going to do here in Kuwait. So
it's one of the early, actually, second or third order.
He's the second in
Dubai.
Dubai. In Dubai.
So the first batch coming of Cybertrucks,
and for sure,
I'm 99% on that shipment.
That's going to be an exciting day. That's definitely going to be. You already know what's going to happen when that happens.
It's already been 2.5 years since the order, so I hope. But I'm expecting they start deliveries in October 2023.
Oh, like in the US.
In the US.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting maybe 3 quarters later. Maybe we get it.
3 quarters here in the Middle East.
3 quarters after first deliveries in the US.
Let's see. I don't like the fact that there's only they're only making it in Texas in one Gigafactory. They should make it in at least 2 different locations, because the demand for this truck. I mean, this is just pre-orders. I think right now it's 1.5 million pre-orders.
3.5.
3.5. I don't even know how 3.5, but they already have this much pre-orders without the vehicle being on the road, without people test driving, without people seeing it. once it comes on the road and people see it and their friends tell about it?
I think realistically, I think 1.5 to 2 million pre-orders will get cancelled. But even though, that leaves you with like 1.5 to 2 million
exactly.
Pre-orders, legit pre-orders. But I don't think they would need more than Gigatexes.
Really?
They wouldn't sell it in the UK.
I guess,
for example,
it's a limited market for it.
It's huge. Like you can buy it in the UK, but
it's
good
not a
luck
big thing.
driving it.
Yeah.
Good luck driving it. That's why you don't see Ford Raptors in the UK.
Yeah, that's true.
Two-cabin Ford Raptors. That's why you don't see Suburbans, GMC Suburbans.
That's true. And for those who are watching, Kuwait is big on pickups. There's pickups everywhere.
Yeah.
They love their pickups here. They really do. So I could see
my father has a 2023 Ford Raptor.
There we go.
And
is a Ford Lightning here?
No.
No, it's not here yet.
No. And I have a Cybertruck on order.
And
I convinced him to get a Cybertruck on order. But he was like, I need the pickup now. So he went for the orange Ford Raptor.
Yeah.
That would be a crazy comparison. Because I would have that car and my father would have the Ford Raptor. We can do a comparison between the two.
That would be amazing.
But we can drive it here. The streets are wide enough. I don't think that's the case in many countries. So I think Gigatexes would be able to supply, especially with Giga presses. I think the production process for the Cybertruck would be quick. It's easier to process. It's easier to manufacture a Cybertruck than to manufacture a Model Y.
Really?
And I know for a fact that every 40 seconds now, Gigatexes is pushing one Model Y. Yes. So how many?
And that's ramping.
Yeah, and that's ramping. That's not the full capacity.
Yep.
So how many? If the Cybertruck is easier to produce, what's the production rate?
Oh, man,
how big is the production line? I don't know. I can get that information, but I think Gigatexes would be enough. Because I think it would be manufacturing mainly for the US, some for Australia, some for Europe, and some
for Asian countries.
little amount for maybe Middle East and Asia.
Well, the second biggest market to US is Thailand. Did you know that?
For pickup trucks?
Yeah.
Mid-size pickup trucks?
No, the big guys.
The big guys?
Yeah, it's Thailand. I think it's Thailand, if I'm not. I'll double check on that. But I think it's Thailand. Thailand has the second most pickup truck next to the US. Okay, so we're a little bit short of time. We are going to do a longer podcast in December, January, where it's cooler, not like 69 degrees. So let's just get to the stock price, because you are a shareholder since 2016. So tell us a story on how you became a shareholder, what made you go into Tesla stock, and we'll get to the stock price as well. So let's just start with that.
Okay. So I studied finance.
Okay, there we go.
I have a finance degree.
Okay.
So I'm a financial guy. And I'm a tech guy to begin with. So smart apps, computers, since a young age. I'm always following tech. I've seen the rise of Amazon, not financially, because I was very young at that age, but I've seen the rise of Amazon technically. I've seen Google go up. I've seen Facebook go up. I've seen all these tech companies. So I know the pattern. I know the disruption of innovation. So if you have an innovative company, and if they do it the correct way, they cause a disruption. That disruption turns the existing industry upside down.
That's true.
Every time. So comes that Tesla I saw in London, the Roadster. And because I'm a car guy, I noticed, it's a Lotus is a track car. It's a track toy.
Yeah.
So I naturally would like it. And I was like, oh, nice Lotus. Wait, it's not a Lotus. That gave me a glimpse on what Tesla is. I didn't know what Tesla was before that. And being a financial guy, being a car guy, and a tech guy, this is combining all three. This is a company that is just hitting the road. It's a car company to begin with. It's not anymore. It's more of an. If I would label it, I would label it as an AI company. I think Tesla is an AI company, or a production beast.
And look at energy.
They innovate in production like no one else. Yep. So this is an innovation tech company. It's a car company, and they are just going public. So I'm financially interested. And the deeper I dip, the deeper I dig, and the more I get into the nitty details and the numbers. Like I know the modules that run the octavalve, and I know what's the current going to that module and what's the electricity on this battery management system and how cooling works. And because I'm a car guy,
because you're a car guy, you have multiple
care.
Garages. And
yes, I care. How is it engineered? And I watched all the teardowns, and I watched every competitor's teardown, and I compare the two. So the more I get deeper into it, the more my conviction gets for the stock. Because I think Tesla won the race a few years ago. Mm-hmm. People are still thinking if it's going to win the race. I think they already won the race. People don't know it yet, but
like Elon Musk says, second place he needs a telescope.
I think on average they are like 6 to 7 years ahead of the closest competitor.
Oh yeah.
And in each year, so 1 year goes by, Tesla is now 2 years ahead. So for every 1 year they are increasing the gap. Yep. They're not decreasing.
To the point that you have competitors joining Tesla's Supercharger network.
I have said that, and I can show you the messages. I have said that to my family because we have an investment WhatsApp group.
Nice.
And I usually give them updates on Tesla because I got them all invested in it.
Nice.
I remember saying that in 2019 or 2018. I told them, wait for when everybody signs with Tesla to use their charging network, and then wait for everybody to license their autonomous software.
Yes.
So fast forward 4 years or 5 years later, now actually everyone is signing up for the Supercharger network.
Yep.
Mercedes did it, Porsche did it, VW, which is Porsche.
Yep.
Rivian did it.
Yep. Volvo now.
Volvo, GM. Ford did it. Ford
was the first. Yeah.
Ford did it a couple of months ago. So I said that 5 years ago. And I also said, wait until everyone start licensing the full self-driving software.
Yeah, that's the big one.
They already want it.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time, and I have time. It's fine.
Yeah, that's that.
I'll wait for it.
Yeah.
I'll wait for it. It's fine.
So now that we know that Khalid has a high conviction in Tesla, and he's also a Tesla shareholder, and on this channel we talk a lot about Tesla stock price, long-term, 2030 and beyond. So I gotta ask, man, what is your bear case, base case, and bull case for Tesla stock, let's say 10 years from now?
Short version, 10 trillion, 15 trillion, 18 to 20 trillion.
So you're saying the bear case 10 trillion?
Bear case does not have robotaxi in it. I'm not counting 0% robotaxi.
And full self-driving?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh, that's the thing, but robotaxi.
But robotaxi is not
okay.
the thing.
Yeah. Okay.
That's 10 trillion.
Okay.
Because people don't think about the licensing.
Yeah, no one knows.
Yes, Tesla will not be selling those cars, but every EV driving on the street using the charging network or using FSD will pay Tesla for it.
Just imagine in 4 years' time, you get an update on your phone that you can do full self-driving with the snap of a button. And then you pay what, 200 a month? And that happens to every single Tesla in the world that they're allowed. Could you imagine the value increase, the asset value increase?
Let me tell you something. I'm a car guy. So to increase the performance of your car, you go to a performance shop.
You're right.
Like the one I have. So you come to our performance shop, and we have to do an ECU software for you. If your car is turbocharged, you might get like 50 to 80, sometimes over 100 horsepower, depending if it's like a V8 twin turbo or if it's a 2-liter turbo engine. But you have to take your car to a shop, drop it there, and come back later. Now, a friend of mine had the long-range Model Y. And he was like, you know, I need it just a bit faster. So he opens his phone, goes to the app, clicks on the acceleration boost, and pays almost as much as you would pay for an ECU tune. And I think it was like 2 minutes later, his car was way faster. It's 2 minutes later, you're sitting at home. He paid with Apple Pay. Like you can pay it electronically.
Yeah.
You don't even have to leave your seat, and your car just got modified. You don't get that.
Yeah, with other cars.
In other cars.
No.
I can't go here and activate full self-driving on any other car, but I can do it in this one. I can go now and get full self-driving. It's not available in Kuwait yet, but if you are at the correct location, you can do that. And it's a matter of rolling out the software. So you would be able to do that in Kuwait. Yeah. But give me any other car that can do it.
Nope.
It's game over.
So that's your bear case of 10 trillion with full self-driving.
In a decade from today.
Yeah, which I think that's realistic by a decade time. But walk me through your base case, which was 15 trillion.
Yes, that's with robo-taxis.
That's with robo-taxis.
That's with robo-taxis. Let me tell you something.
By the way, guys, 15 trillion is like $4,500 per share today at the stock price. So, sheesh, that's all I gotta say. But go on with the details, man.
So the base case is with the robo-taxi.
Okay.
If you think about it, Tesla is leveraging its fleet for the robo-taxi network.
That's correct, yep.
If you look at Uber, or I don't know, what's the other company? Lyft.
Yeah.
Uber, Lyft. We have local companies here in Kuwait. Every country has local versions of Uber or Lyft or whatever. Now those are running on a 50-50 business model. So they pay the driver 50% and they get 50%. Teslas are driverless.
Yep.
So there is no driver to pay. Now you might ask me and tell me, yes, but they are using my car. So they have to pay me. I'm not driving it, but they have to pay me. Yes, they do. But if they offer you 20%, you would take it.
Yeah.
Because they're not giving you 50% because they own the platform. You are putting your car on their platform to make you money.
Yeah.
And they're giving you 20% for it.
And you're not doing anything.
You're not doing anything. You're basically, you used your car to go to work, and now you have 8 working hours where your car is sitting idly in the parking. So during that time, you can leverage the car to make you money. And then you need the car back, takes you home, and it stays out until the next morning. You can leverage that to make you money. So you would be okay with getting 20%, 25%.
Yeah.
That means off the bat, Tesla is making 75% against 25% for the owner of the car. And Tesla has their own fleet. So some of that fleet is making 100% for Tesla.
That's true.
Right off the bat, it's more profitable than Uber, Lyft, or anyone else.
Yep.
One more thing, you don't have an annoying driver. Let's be real. There are nice drivers, and I've had interesting conversations with Uber drivers. So interesting, it's crazy. But there is a chance you get with a bad driver, and I got with a bad driver in a Model 3.
Oh,
from Uber.
That's not.
Dude, that was a horrible experience. If Tesla would charge me double the price for that trip, just to eliminate that specific driver, I would pay it. Now think about this. If Tesla is saving, if Tesla is getting 75% or 100%, let's say in their case with their fleet, they're getting 100%. Uber is making 50% if they're priced the same. Tesla can sell that ride for half the price of Uber while making the same revenue as Uber. So they will clear the market. They would take
Uber and Lyft.
The whole market share with the same revenue as Uber, but for 50% less cost on the consumer. And it's a price sensitive service. So if your trip is $50 and Tesla is offering $25 for that trip, you're going with Tesla. Now, Uber would have made $25 and Tesla would have made $25. But you went with Tesla.
Yeah.
So if that happens, that's my base case. I think it's 15 trillion.
And I would think that either, I mean, my conviction towards Uber and Lyft, they're in big trouble. Even if they try to work with Tesla, at the end of the day, if they have their own robo-taxis, that's it. It's finished.
It's finished.
It's done. It's done. They have to do something. I don't know how they're going to continue existing after that. They have to either be bought by Tesla or they would have to, I don't know.
That's a question you would ask for the shareholders of those companies.
Yeah.
I'm not a shareholder.
Yeah, neither am I. No.
So they have to figure out how to survive that transition.
No, that's hilarious.
So I don't know. So that's the base case.
So 15 trillion, that's the base case, and it's justifiable. Now, the bull case is what? You said 18 to 19 trillion? Essentially 20 trillion.
18 to 20 trillion.
And that's, what's included in that?
So we have, at that time, we would have the Model 3, Model Y, Model S, Model X, which are like small percentage anyways. The Cybertruck, the compact car, and I think
a van
or
and something else.
Something in the logistic realm.
Okay.
On top of that, you have the robo-taxi.
Okay.
I think you would have the Tesla bots running.
Okay.
That's the bull case. So the Tesla bots are running, the robo-taxi and all these cars. Solar is good.
Energy.
It's a decade from today. So
solar they already have it in the bag.
So that bull case is, if they solve for solar, we're going towards that bull case.
And as well as in the base case and bear case. Yes. That's it. Okay.
So at that price level, I would assume the Boring Company expanded their operations and Teslas are operating in those tunnels, mainly from, think about it as the subway. Think about a subway network owned by Tesla and the Boring Company. Because everything gets modified. I think that is the next iteration of subways.
Underground tunnels for cars and things like that.
I think if we are morphing from horses to cars to autonomous cars, I think the subway is morphing into tunnels with autonomous cars
and that's more convenient
than
much
trains.
More convenient.
Yes, because it's private. You can have cars go to different stations, not in a linear way, but they can split out and go to stations, and the whole train doesn't have to go there.
Right, that's true.
So people who want this stop can stop, and people who don't want that stop will continue driving. Today, that train is stopping at every stop in the way. So if that all happens with the robots and I'm expecting any company that would be relevant should have autonomous driving, and I think every company that has autonomous driving would be licensing Tesla software.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think with the new news, this is recently, other companies are adopting the Tesla charger, actually, the plug.
Yep.
So, and signing up for the Supercharger network.
Yep.
So, if everyone is using the Tesla Supercharger network and the Tesla autonomy software, and you have those tunnels, and you have the robots, and you have the robotaxi, and your personal car is autonomous, you have software updates over the air. One more thing, I expect Tesla to have an app store where you can download several apps. Because if you're sitting in a robotaxi and you're going for a 45-minute drive, you need to watch your shows, you need to watch your content.
Yeah,
much
more convenient that way.
I think Tesla is thinking about it currently. And in my opinion, the best way to do it is your Tesla app on your phone would be connected to all those
different
apps.
Okay.
And once you get into the Tesla car, this links to the car and it knows that it's you inside that car. So it would show you your Netflix, your HBO, your YouTube, whatever the App Store has.
Wow.
So you can play your movies that are on, that you bought on Apple TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for each transaction that happens inside that trip, Tesla is getting paid.
Also, so Tesla will be charging them for every subscription that you would pay for example.
You would pay Netflix your original subscription, but
then Tesla will take a cut of that. Because
Apple now is taking 30% of Netflix for every Netflix subscription on Apple.
Yeah, it's true.
Google is doing the same thing. Tesla would do the same thing.
Yeah,
so every app running here will pay Tesla for it.
Yeah, and this is also big because if you have, let's say by 2030, 50, 60, 70 million Teslas on the road, and you have the full self-driving figured out and people want to watch thing, I mean, that's big business.
There's a simple question. Why are Teslas today are being shipped out with PS5 grade graphic cards?
That's true. That's a very good question.
That's an overkill for a car. It's not a car.
It's not a
You're
car.
getting into a PC. It's a robot.
Yep.
That is taking you on your 1 hour journey.
Yep.
And you want to play your video games. You need that graphic card.
Pull out the
that
PS5.
is pulling 4K and ray tracing and whatnot. I think it's an 8 teraflops. I'm not quite sure about the number, but it's an AMD card that's the same specs as the PS5 and the Xbox.
Wow, that I wasn't even thinking about.
Think about the money.
Like that, that's detailed thinking. We're just looking at the surface. And Khalid is going so deep.
Gaming, movies, content, social media, podcasts, you name it.
Wow, I think I got to update my stock price predictions because mine, I'm saying at least by 2030 it should be like $1,200 per share, which is
1,200,
which is about 4 or 5 trillion.
Yeah,
4 or 5 trillion by 2030, and that's excluding, full self-driving being figured out. That's excluding robotaxi. That's excluding licensing out full FSD.
Yeah, that's the bear case.
But if you add all those in,
I think
the
my bear case is double yours.
Yeah. Because you have FSD in it.
Not just FSD. I think they will sell volumes.
Yeah.
Crazy volumes. Wait for the Cybertruck to come.
Yeah. The Cybertruck, the cars are one thing, but then if you can sell the software, the fact that you can give people back their time back,
yes,
they can do what they want while they're driving. Because honestly, driving is a waste of time. The fact that I have to pay attention all the time, the same road, the same day, it's a waste of time. I could be doing other things in the car that's more productive.
Yeah.
The fact that you can give that time back to people is so valuable.
Yes.
And That's what people will actually pay for.
I
will
know.
pay for it. I mean,
I know so many people don't care about it,
but they will.
and they would tell you, I enjoy the drive. I enjoy the drive.
Yep.
I have cars to enjoy the drive. I have a naturally aspirated V8 manual transmission. I have a turbocharged mini rocket. I've been in supercars. I've been in 1,000 horsepower cars on a daily basis. We build them.
Yeah.
I enjoy the ride, but I'm not enjoying the ride every time.
Yeah.
There are rides that I go out just for the joy of it. It's a joy ride.
Yeah.
And there are times where I am going for a meeting and I have to prep something.
Yeah.
And I have to do some calls and prepare something on the way. It's a 30-minute drive, so I can do something.
Exactly.
I don't want to enjoy that ride. Actually, it's rush hour. You are not enjoying that ride anyways. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. So
there's a time and place for everything.
exactly.
And
So-
this car is targeting a specific time where it's not about joy. It's a transportation mode. You want to take a joyride, you can buy a sports car or a pickup truck or
road
whatever you're into. Maybe you're into off-roading or street racing.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that. That's Khalid's stock price prediction 2030 bear, base, and bull case. And before we end that off, is there anything you want to say?
Good job on your channel.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was recently introduced to it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
I
thank you
didn't
for
think-
accepting for this interview.
Yeah, I didn't think we would have a Tesla YouTuber in Kuwait. So when you asked for doing a video on a Tesla in Kuwait, I was like, let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So happy, man.
And I hope you grow with Tesla as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
At the same rate.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. I hope to have you more back on this channel. For those who are interested to know more about Khalid, he doesn't have a social media himself yet, but what he does have is his garages.
I don't think I would do personal social.
Why not, man? It's fun. But anyways, no problem.
It's a business only thing for me.
Nonetheless, he does have multiple garages that he works on and some that he owns as well. So his socials are in the link, so you guys can check him out, see what he's up to here in Kuwait. And thanks a lot, Khalid. Thanks a lot. In the wintertime, we're going to do a longer podcast because right now it's very hot. We had to stop the camera a few times because it was getting overheated. And yeah, we'll do a longer one then, a better one, more detailed one. So I'm excited for that.
Hopefully in the shop.
Hopefully in his shop.
Let's see how
that's going to be so much fun. So thank you guys for tuning in. And I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.
See ya.